I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
He's a good man. Maybe the best of us.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merg. How wrong I was.
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pets tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
Blade of Frontiers has some explaining to do.
I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
What are the terms of your pact?
I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
What do you make of Raphael?
He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
With the right teacher, yes. What are your thoughts on the devil, Will?
Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great.
He spoke of a cure. We have to at least hear him out.
Take a single step towards him, and he'll dog you the whole journey. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
How did you become the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
Goblins? Pitiful vermin, easy to kill. Hardly worth getting worked up about.
Tell that to the boy shivering over his mother's ravaged corpse. It makes me angry to think about it still. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
Is that how you lost your eye? The goblin battle?
It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Makes sense. So, tell me, how does it feel to be a devil?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
Quite the handsome devil.
I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me. Horns and all. The people will see a curiosity. Maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters. Keep them safe. And one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
You should get out of this pact.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
There must be some loophole in the contract that lets you out.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
We'll see if it's worth it. We might need the pact after all.
That has been its tragedy. I've saved so many with the talents of the blade. And without the pact, I'm just a man. And what good is my blade then when it's too dull to split monsters? What good is a flame when a mere breath snuffs it out?
Fair enough. You want to talk to Shadowheart.
Almost pleasant traveling with company, if you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
What's the story of the odd little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
Right, moving on to other topics. I noticed the Merles in the grove. Something about them seemed to catch your eye.
What can I say? They were eye-catching. Consider me an art lover.
Something you're not telling me, I'm sure of it.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you know exactly what I mean.
It's nothing, really.
You have to be honest with each other. What is it that you're keeping from me? Well, I'm getting this information out of her. Both 19s? That is awesome. That is an awesome role. I love it.
You're not going to let this go, are you? You might wish you had. I worship Shah, the mistress of the night. It is my holy mission to oppose Selûne, her teachings and her followers.
Right.
Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
I'll decide whether to make a fuss or not. Hard to trust someone who's holding out on me.
Secrecy is everything for Shah's children. It is our code, our creed, our shield. I even keep secrets from myself. I had my memories suppressed, so that nothing I know could be used against the Dark Lady. Once I prove myself, my memories will be restored. I'm not sorry I kept this from you. Not one bit. Though, perhaps that might change, if you can show an open mind.
Let's see how open-minded I can be then. Tell me more.
All right. As I said, Shah is my patron, my mistress. Goddess of darkness and loss. I assume you've heard of her?
Remind me.
My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss.
Please continue.
Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals.
How exactly do Shar worshippers turn people to their goddess?
We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths.
Won't cast judgment on your beliefs.
Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company.
Why were you in pain before?
The wound on my hand. It never quite heals.
Wonder why I had two
And
options there for
sometimes
that.
it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
So you knew more than you were letting on before. Hope you'll be more honest in the future.
I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor.
Why would Shar subject you to such a thing?
I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons.
What causes it to hurt you?
It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure.
Is there anything I can do to help with it?
I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
What do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
Must have thoughts about our little stowaways.
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. Oh, there's Ethel. Not that I'm keen to trust her. If we're truly desperate, we can try to convince that goblin gut in assisting us. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith Kresh will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
What will you do if we actually manage to remove these?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
No reason for us to not stay together if we get on well.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Family, a friend, a lover?
Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance.
How am I holding up to your estimations?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Right. I want to get to know you more.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
What drew you to Shar worship?
She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell.
Tell me something about yourself besides Shar, besides tadpoles.
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well,
Yeah.
I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
You'll have to point out night orchids to me if you ever pass some. If we ever pass some.
It's a deal.
Anything else you care to share?
No, I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memory suppressed, I can't betray Shah's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored.
You've had your memories suppressed. That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shao will reward me when I succeed.
Nice. Lots and lots of stuff we talked about there. Very good stuff.
Need to find a way forward.
Let's talk to Gale. We haven't actually spoken to Gale or Astarion.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I was wondering, that condition of yours, why does it require magic?
Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
I think I have a magical artifact you'll be interested in.
Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging. But it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer.
Why does Shadowheart disapprove of that? What the heck? Okay, Astarion. Actually, Lae'zel. I think I've exhausted Lae'zel pretty well.
Speak.
Eek. Is it me, or have you been looking at me differently?
I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland.
And I thought you cruel, stubborn, and judgmental.
Yes, all that is true. I am cold as the sea of night. But you have stoked fires I didn't know I possessed.
Oh.
I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning. When I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hair stand on end.
The attraction's mutual, Lae'zel. You know how to set my heart racing.
Good. I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later, but I want it all the same.
Oh.
Do you?
Sure thing, I've been wanting a hot get Yankee girlfriend. Oh my god, dude. That's so great. Yes, I want to share my body with you.
Yes. Perhaps one night soon, I will come to your bunk and take what is mine. Until that night comes, I shall keep enjoying your scent.
He's a humanoid just like everyone else. Why is Astarion all alone over here?
Someone there? All right. Seems not.
Okay.
All's well that ends not as bad as
So,
it could have.
Will did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
You think is waiting for us in Moonrise Towers?
Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
Moving in.
All right.
I've come to sate you and
Oh.
be sated. I lead, you follow.
Okay.
So you think. Let's see if you're right. Gith train relentlessly. We know our bodies inside and out.
I trained relentlessly too.
Let
Oh
me show
my.
you. Close your eyes and submit.
Okay.
A pause, and then the flicker of a tongue across your neck.
Open. Taste.
I have not done this. I didn't do this in the
Good.
last one.
Lower.
You awake in pain. Your back, your hands, even your tongue ache.
It's
Oh.
time to rise. Dawn is upon us.
Why in such a hurry? Relax. Come rest.
Time for pleasure has passed. I might take more later, should my whims so carry me. Up now. The sun soon rises.
Every breath, every blink proves exhausting. A long day awaits you.
I'm fully rested though, right? Yay! I feel like we have something to talk about now. Or maybe not. I'm going to talk anyways.